Okay, let's go.
Do it! Just do it! Drop!
Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's list some nursing skills. At baseline, what we learned in school, what we're learning in our first, second year, that are the same skills you use when engaging with your politicians or, people that make decisions. We learn how to build rapport, right?
Rapport, brought to you by Merriam-Webster.
You have to build rapport. You walk into a patient's room, you don't know them from the minute before you walk in the room, other than reading the charts or, hearing report. But you instantly have to make yourself a trusted person, a trusted source. Nurses do that all the time. Like, it's built in, right? You walk into that room, introduce yourself. I'm nurse so-and-so. I'm going to be taking care of you for the next day or two. And the person's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Put needles in my arm or, give me pills. I don't even know what those pills are.
Yeah. Or, oh, you want to stick that where? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
fine.
Sure. Other than rapport building, what are other nursing skills that are useful or, are needed when speaking with legislators?
Well, speaking with legislators, I might have to think more about that one, or maybe I won't, who knows? But the first thing that came to my mind when you asked, that, or something that is central to, if you worked in an acute care setting as a nurse, you've heard of SBAR. I've found that using SBAR to look at these bills that are being proposed is a really helpful tool to understand, like, what the heck is going on? Like, what does all that, like, legal jargon say? What is the situation, that this bill is addressing? Or, what's the background of the issue? What's the A? I forgot. Oh, it's assessment of, like, it could be like the assessment of the impact of this decision, or, like, who is it going to affect? And then, like, the recommendation is I either will support it or we're going to oppose it.
Yeah.
So yeah, SBAR, your bill, is one that, I mean, like, we're nerds. We're okay with it. I use that to look at bills. Is this going to impact certain, populations or our profession? And, so yeah, SBAR, handy tool.
That's amazing, because I think sometimes bills are written in such a way where they are meant to confuse to a certain extent, because other things are put into the bill that you wouldn't expect to go into, like I don't know, like an education package, and all of a sudden there's like something in there that has nothing to do with education. But I mean, that's a topic for another day. But but
lots on that too.
But just using SBAR to guide you as you're looking for the situation, you're cutting through all of the jargon and just looking to see what the ask is, right? And what's happening. That's amazing. I didn't even think about that.
I thought of another one.
Oh yeah.
Like, how in hospitals, you have surveyors who are coming and, they're making sure that everything is check marked and all that. If a nurse can talk to a surveyor, a nurse can talk to anybody. Like, let's just be real. That's like the most intimidating discussion I feel like I've ever had as a nurse, is when a surveyor was, they do tracers and they look at a patient and they follow that patient from here to here to here. And I just happened to be taking care of that patient, that was like a really, they prepare you to, like, be nervous. It's just like, you make sure you don't say anything that you don't, need to say. And you're just like, what?
Well, they drill you, right? There's drills and there's practices.
Yeah.
I mean, so by the time it does happen and the surveyor comes, you're prepared. And I think that's a skill that's useful in interacting with lawmakers, is because you're not just going to walk in there cold, right? You're going to practice. You're going to have conversation, and you're going to be, and again, too, like what you said, you're not going to just walk into a patient room without reading their chart. You need to know what the landscape is of things. Like, is there a family member in the room with them? Like, what other needs, what other things are going on, so that when you walk into that room, you appear prepared. And the goal is so they trust you to provide the care for them, right? So it's not just being trusted to be trusted, as we have a goal. Our goal is to get them better by the time the 8 hours, the 12 hours is up, right? So that we can endorse their care to the next shift so they can even get better through that shift, right? So like being very mission minded, like this is our goal driven, right? Like when we're talking to our legislators, like we have to have a goal, we have to have something that we're all working towards together. Otherwise, it's it's not very effective. And these are things that you learn through like trial and error. And I think like we debrief and we talk with our friends who are doing the same things. I think every time you do it and talk about advocacy or try to inspire nurses to become involved or civically engaged, the conversation flows a little more freer and a little more straight to the point and what we really want. We are representing ourselves as a profession. Like if I'm meeting my politician, my representative this Thursday at their local office or on Capitol Hill, is like I'm making sure that I'm presenting myself professionally, and because I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking for the whole profession. And the same thing, right? A nurse at the bedside is not just speaking from themselves. They are representing their colleagues on that whole department or the whole hospital. And there's so many skills, right? As a nurse, like out the gate, if we were to like find 5 of our nurse friends that work like inpatient right now and say, we're going to take you to Capitol Hill and you have all the skills, I think it's really doable. And my point of view is we have to look outside of the profession. Like we can only help ourselves within the profession so much, but you have to go outside of the profession to really make big leaps and bounds into improving things. And there are many things that we're just trying to figure out together, right? Because it's new for us. We went to school to become a nurse, not to become a politician or a law.
Just a reminder to like and subscribe to Citizen Nurse News Network.